Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today's build is a project I've been excited in a while. A two-tower stronghold, which I named Stonefort Bastion, and it's going to be center of a new diorama project. I want to include you guys in the next step of this project, and I'll explain my ideas at the end of this video. So let's get to it. I've been saving this cardboard tube for years, waiting for the red project to turn it into a tower. It's thick, sturdy, and pretty much perfect for what I had in mind. After making the cut points, I used masking tape as a guide while sewing. My idea was to build two separate towers connected with a bridge. The entrance would be on the shorter one, maybe with a winding causeway leading up to the main gate. Now, I'll admit I mismeasured. The tall tower was supposed to be higher than what I ended up cutting. But I fixed that later by adding an extra foam base. I wanted these towers to look like they were built into descending rock faces, without too much of a bulge at the bottom. So, I chopped off parts here and there, smoothed out sharp edges, and tried to add rock texture where I could. Then I hot glued both towers onto their foam bases. At this point, I noticed one of the towers was cut unevenly, so I had to adjust it off camera. To cover up the tops, I cut two circular cardboard pieces, which later became the battlements. The bridge in between was also made from cardboard. Originally, I wanted the towers farther apart, but I scaled it down so the whole build wouldn't take up too much space. Honestly, the connection turned out really solid. I can bump it, shake it, no disasters waiting to happen. Next, I raised the sides for the battlements and cut out space for the doors and the gates. I planned 8 arrow slits for the taller tower and 4 barred windows for the smaller one. I'll be honest though, the arrow slits were completely made up on the spot. I didn't research them properly, and later I regretted not making them wooden instead of stone. Wooden ones would have given nice contrast, even if it didn't make total historical sense. For a little extra flair, I used a plastic cap to build an observation level on top of the tall tower, with a roofed extension to make it more interesting. For the big gates and doors, I used my usual combo of cardboard and copy stirrers. Normally I clean up the edges with Dremel, but you could snip off the excess. I'm just lazy about it. Now, I do have an announcement. I've been making all sorts of things on this channel. Medieval builds like castles, towers, sci-fi ships, diesel punk mechs, you name it, I make it. While I love it, I've been burning out a little. Making the builds is fun, but turning them into YouTube videos is a whole different workload. So, to keep things fresh, I'm going to start mixing in some of my other hobbies. You'll be seeing Lego content here, not reviews, but me rebuilding my previous dioramas in Lego form. And I'll also be experimenting with Hot Wheels cars, turning them into post-apocalyptic vehicles. This doesn't mean I'm leaving medieval stuff behind, it just means there will be more variety. I know some people won't like that, and I might lose a few subscribers, but hey, we've only got 24 hours a day, and I want to keep this channel fun for me too. Anyway, back to the build. Using this archer figure as an example dummy, you can see how soldiers will enter the gate, climb 2 stories, cross into the taller tower, climb 2 more, and finally reach the top. Since I'm lazy, I didn't build proper ladders or stairways. Instead, I made a wooden hatch in the middle of the floor. Then added extra wooden details around it with copy stairs so it wouldn't look too plain. To differentiate the towers a bit, I glued chopsticks on the taller one as timber framing. Big mistake, I used super glue and it dripped all the way down into the foam. If you worked with CA glue on styrofoam before, you know what happens. Melted spots everywhere. I had to fix those later. With more stairs, I built wooden floorboards for the top and lower levels. Then I started adding stonework. Cardboard cuts that I absolutely loved. Honestly, I might use this method instead of styrofoam bricks in the future builds. For the observation deck roof, I punched shingles out of leftover cardstock. It looks okay, but it took forever and I need a better method for the future. Cocktail forks held the roof frame in place, and that wrapped up this part of the build. As usual, I prepped bricks from styrofoam, tumbled them for a rough shape, and laid them down, bigger stones at the bottom, smaller ones at the top. I left some gaps to fill later with baking soda mortar. Like I said previously, next time I might skip the styrofoam bricks look and go on with pre-cut cardboard bricks. Styrofoam bricks are easier to cut and shape, they have the depth to them, but usually it's pretty hard to keep them in scale with the figures. Yes, cardboard is thinner, but gives a more uniform look and also are much easier to lay compared to the styrofoam bricks. Also allows me to skip the entire tumbling process. Once glued, I sprinkled the soda into the cracks, brushed it in, and set it with isopropyl alcohol. After it dried, I sprayed diluted PVA glue over everything to lock it down. It's only my second time trying this method, we'll see how it looks after painting. For the stairs at the gates, I realized the space was too small. Anything I carved would have been way out of scale. So I extended the entry with more foam and paved a small road using air drying clay. That helped cover gaps between the foam pieces too. I added a flagpole hole and some extra wooden stick details for that. Finally, I base coated everything with 50/50 diluted craft paint. I usually use Vallejo primer, but I was running low and had to improvise. The difference is huge. Craft paint takes forever and I burned through half a bottle just for the 2 coats. I really need to pick up a cheap airbrush soon because painting large builds with a brush is painfully slow and I always miss spots. And that's where I'll pause the build for now. What do you think of it so far? Now, here's where I need your input. What should I do with this tower project? Expand it into a bigger scene with stables, cottages, maybe even a pier with a small sail ship unloading cargo. Keep it as a standalone peaceful diorama, or turn it into a battle scene with soldiers storming the walls. Drop your ideas in the comments below. I'll be keeping this build on hold until I hear from you. Thanks for watching and thanks for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. It really helps a small channel like this to grow. Until next time, take care and I'll see you soon.